This is the Seal Guardians in the second run that I'm doing in 2019 of the Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta. This is a classic run, which means it's a natural category, so all of my characters are locked into the jobs that they have, and I cannot use any abilities going across the other ones. I have Knight, 2 Black Mages, and a Red Mage, as you can see. I went up to level 28 so that I could pick up an extra magic multiplier for my Black Mages, so they will do a little bit more damage with their Aga level spells. So the strategy here in this fight is to kind of sandbag up for the first part until I can get Protect on everybody. Sadly, I can't switch red magic around so people can't protect themselves. I can only use that with Faris. So until Faris has got Protect on a few characters and I'm not going to have to stop to use as many healing items or heal spells, I'm not going to go on the offensive just yet. So we're going to, like I said, sandbag, pile up a little bit before we get going on the offensive. The strategy after that will be to cast Fire 3 and use double-gripped Fire Sword attacks on the 3 crystals that can take damage to fire. We're going to start with the front crystal. They have 7777 life, and once they're beneath 3,000 life, they start spamming high-level, all-targeting area of effect magic. So the standard strategy when you have a party that can deal decent damage to them is to get them just above the threshold where they go into that second AI script, and then get everyone's turns lined up and try to rush them down through their hit point total before they get another action. So we'll see that in action for the 3 crystals. For the fire crystal, I'm going to have to go a little bit inefficient, I guess I should say. So here we're checking that Lena has the fire staff in, so she's going to cast Fire 3. And as I look at that printout and pause it, I'm adding up the damage done in my head, and we're actually close enough with 1,300 plus 3,000. That's 4,300. You can do 4,700 before they switch. So already that one is just above its Berserk mode. So I'm going to take a turn to heal here because we haven't even finished applying Protect on everybody. I was very happy to see the damage printouts with both of those. Sometimes if you're a little bit lower level, you just can't overpower these crystals, but because I ground up for another multiplier, they're doing another few hundred damage per spell. So once my turns line up and I see that front crystal get an action, it'll do a physical attack. We call it the water crystal, so it uses aqua breath, even though that doesn't quite have the water element. So it just took an action, so now we're going to go hog wild on the offensive. 1,500 on the swing, going to be another almost 3,000, so a little bit lower. She rolled a little bit lower. But that, as you saw, was just enough to take it out. So before we heal up, I'm even going to do that. Galef's going to attack. He's also going to get a little bit lower roll. So generally, the rule, as I noticed here for this one, they could take enough damage from 1 Night Swing and 1 Fire 3 to put them just above the status. So it's going to be 1 Fire 3, and then the Knight's going to take a swing here, and then we'll line up everybody's turn to take out the Earth Crystal. Once we had Protect on everybody, things really were rolling a lot faster. And so actually right now I had the 2 Black Mages turns lined up. And so Faris gets an action here. What to do with Faris, once we've got that all applied, I had Faris just do a safety Fire 2. It's going to do very little damage because these guys have a lot of resistance. Fire 2 is incredibly weak at this point in the game. But it was just, I called it a safety Fire 2 because Faris really had nothing else to do. I could have broken a Fire Rod, but I didn't want to do some weird number of damage to the back crystal. I'm guessing it would have done maybe around 1,800 to 1,000. I didn't calculate it. But I didn't want to mess up my system with these other characters, so I decided to just do a safety Fire 2. I could have just had her defend or do a Cure 2. Well, we're generally keeping everybody healthy. So there is the swing from the Knight, and that one's not in the back row anymore, so he can do his full damage. There's the Fire 3. That one's rolling even lower, so I'm a little nervous about how little damage is taken because both of them have rolled kind of low, and I didn't actually count that in my head once I got through the first couple. I wasn't doing that math anymore, so here I'm watching for it to get that action, and I took the safety of making sure all 4 characters had a turn lined up. So we're going to do as much damage as we can. Faris, again, what to do with Faris? I could snap a rod here just to do a safety rod, but I'm thinking I'm going to do plenty of damage with another Night Swing and another Fire 3 lined up, and even then I didn't need another Fire 3. So now we get to the Fire Crystal. Sadly, I can't do any magical damage to the Fire Crystal. outside of Drain, but Drain won't hit them very often because their level is so high. So they will evade the Drain. So my mages are going to have to jump up to the front row, and they're equipping, as you can see, air knives. Lena did put a guardian dagger in her hand just while she did the row check, just to see if she could get an extra dodge. But everyone's going to be attacking with air knife. The knight is going to go with the epee sword, switching from the flame sword to the epee sword, which is right there. And so he can't use the flame tongue anymore, of course. So now Lena is going to check to see how much damage she can do with the air knife. You're going to see pauses happen again because as I was recording this, I was stopping to kind of calculate or count up the damage in my head. So again, we're using air knives on everybody and getting everyone up to the front row. So I stopped. All right, 13. That's an easy one to remember. Okay, I round that up to 3, so now I'm thinking 16. And remember, you can count up to 47 before they go into that mode. So I'm just looking to see how much damage we're all doing. Ferris is going to try to keep everybody full health if she can. The crystal's going to keep swinging. We have elf capes on 3 characters. No shield, though, for the knight because we're doing double grip. Because that Fire 3, when it launches, is going to do almost enough damage to kill us with full health, but I kind of ground up to this level specifically so that I could tank maybe 1 with some of my characters if we're at full health. So you saw an elf cape dodge from Lena right there. So here's Ferris again going on the offensive. She can do more damage, so she's got a little more speed and a little more strength, even though her vitality is lower than our black mages. So she's doing a tiny bit more damage. The knight's going to be the real all-star here, and I'm glad to see that he's still doing 1,300 damage per swing, so that if we can have another character survive the Fire 3 attack, then they can just throw an elixir at the knight to give him 2 more turns at it, or maybe 1 more, maybe 2 more, depends on how the speed lines up. That fire crystal is really fast. So I made Lena go back up to full health there to try to keep everybody over that as close to 800 as I can. But there she takes a hit for 190. She's just going to go for the swing right here because we are now just full on hold A mode right now. And just hoping to get as much damage into that as we can. We're about to eat a Fire 3. You'll see me pause to look at the damage printouts, and it's actually survivable. You'll see everyone except Lena is going to survive, and she would have if she hadn't gotten targeted again with another physical attack. So in lieu of healing, I'm just going to have the knight swing. I was going to have one of the mages probably throw an elixir at the knight, but as it is, we got it. And we even got the rare soot drop. So onward we go to Exdeath.